Good morning. My name is Mike Johnson from the Minneapolis Fire Department, salvage driver on the B shift. This morning I'm going to show you how to fill air bottles at the fire ground using the salvage rig. Alright, you arrive at the fire ground, park the rig close to the fire scene as you can, staying out of the way of fire operations. And the rig has to be running the whole time you're at the rig for the compressor to work properly. So we get to the fire ground, we find a nice place to park, we put our rig in neutral, we set the parking brake, and the only other thing we have to get concerned with is pressing right here the high idle button, which is right here, lower right. Light will light up, our RPMs will rise to approximately 1,000 to 1,500 RPMs, in which case we know we're ready to go on the outside of the rig. Now we come to this compartment over the rear wheel on the driver's side. We take our blue power cord, hook it into our compressor, hit the power, in which case our computer over here will light up. We've got 3 white buttons on the bottom here. We're just concerned with the right one this time. Normal, go over to normal here. That'll say auto, that'll say run, and the compressor will start. If the compressor does not start, it will say storage is full. Now we're ready to go to the back of the rig. Alright, this is the fill station back here. Rear compartment door, we come in, open our fill stations. Alright, everything, all our knobs, all our fill stations, everything is left on all the time. The bottles actually fill when we close these doors, so we don't have to be concerned with anything except our relief valve, which helps us get our bottles very full. So I'm going to grab a couple of air bottles now. We hook our air bottles up, fill station, very tight, snug. These are our relief valves, these are snug. Again, hook the upper bottle up. That has to be tight, this is just snug, our bleeder valve. Now, we open the fill station valve and the bottle valve. They don't have to be opened all the way, just a couple turns each. If you do hear a leak, maybe your bleeder valve isn't closed all the way, or maybe you're not tight on the bottle. Turn these off, bleed it off, start over, and you should be good. Just a couple turns each, you're good to go. Shove them into the fill station, at which point the bottles will start to fill. Here's our regulated pressure valve here. As you can see, it's set at 4,200. We need to get our bottles high into the green. Maybe we should look at a bottle right now while it's filling. We're going to try to get our bottles up to 5,000 pounds, which they will cool down to the pressure we're looking for. Little at a time. Don't be afraid to turn this relief valve. It turns kind of hard. Alright, let's just look at a bottle. This is the correctly filled bottle, high into the green. These bottles will cool down somewhat when they're full, so it's important to get them high into the green, if not the outer edge of the full, so they cool down and stay in the green. That's what we're shooting for. The key here is not to fill too fast. If you fill too fast, I'll give you an example of the relief valve going off. Okay, that's the relief valve going off. The pressure is too high. That hissing you hear is the relief going out of the rig. So in effect, you're draining the storage of the rig, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to back this off and crank it up a little at a time. Don't be in a hurry. This fill station is independent of this fill station. So while this side is filling, you can be changing bottles out on the other side. Little by little, we're turning this relief valve up. A reminder, it does turn hard. Okay, you can see it says 5,000 pounds here, so what we can do is we can go ahead and check this. The relief valve's going to probably go off now because as we open the door, the filling will stop. It'll give more pressure to the system. So at that point, we can back this off. You'll hear the hissing go away. We'll look at our bottles here. As you can see, our bottles are a little bit out of the green, which is just fine. They will cool down into the green, at which point we will turn the bottle off, turn the fill station off, we'll bleed off the excess air. Now we can take this bottle off. Put a cap on the bottle and fire it back in the rig. Same here, turn these off. Fill station off, bottle off, bleed it off, take the bottle off.